I was watching Adam Savage, yeah, you know, the guy from Mythbusters, and he's talking to someone, and he said, "I'm the type of guy who likes to see how things tick. I like to look behind the curtain." And that's what we're doing here. We're not interested in this arm movement. We're not interested in moving our opponents. We want to see what makes this possible. So if you're pushing against my hand and I'm moving my forearm, I've got issues. Everything's breaking down here. So now I have to think bigger into my arm and just put that out. And my arm doesn't bend and I'm not using muscular force.
I see what you're doing now. Yeah, that you can really feel that.
I'm gone, look, I'm gone. For this to be of any real use, I have to be able to have whatever's going on here in every single arm movement. Because I don't want my arm to bend. If I'm defending, it's going to stop you getting at me. If I'm attacking, I'm going to lose no force when I make contact. You know, oh, absolutely not. There are no techniques or shapes in Wing Chun. This is what I meant about Adam Savage, about what's making it tick. If you look at a watch, you say, what beautiful watch, does it tell time? Well, the truth is the watch doesn't tell time, does it? It's just a case. It's whatever's inside, it's what makes it tick.
The mechanism.
Or wherever, you know, and so that's what we want to know. But be careful of the word mechanism, you'll think it's mechanical. But we want to know what is making this work. How can I be, and how can I be the thing that inflates the ball and not the ball inflating? So I prefer to think of this as the unbending arm. So if you're pushing real hard against my arm, how do I stop this bending? Even if I'm here and you're pushing, how do I stop it bending anymore? I can be here and just always bending my arm. I don't want it to be bent. I can go out here. So this is teaching us something else. It's teaching me how to have an unbending arm. And in this instance, bar arm could be like iron bar, but I've got no effort involved. I've got no structural problems. Now I can use this later. I can be stepping through you. But what we're really trying to learn is how do I move this arm against force and it doesn't bend, because then the applications of that are huge. And what makes it more confusing is there's an element of this which is essential, which isn't introduced until Bill G. And so, you know, this is why you have to understand there isn't really a natural order to things. So when you're pushing on here, if I'm one-armed, I'm gone, aren't I? But even once I do this, look.
Straight away.
So I need this. Bill G pulled the Shaolin Arch or whatever we're thinking.
It's all there.
And we can see how balanced it is, look.
You're all there. Yeah.
It has to be this, has to be heaven and earth or east-west, whichever one we're looking at. This is such an important component.
Because we tend to turn that off.
And if I've only engaged half of my body, how can I possibly be in balance? I mean, it needs to be energetic as well as physical. I need to have the same energy, the same effort, the same whatever I think I'm doing happening down both sides of my body.
Yes, you can really feel it here now. Everything's alive.
So, Gansao, the concept of Gansao, I think it's better if you look at it as the unbending arm. Instead of thinking, I mean, it means the same thing, bar arm, obstructing arm, whatever. But makes a lot more sense that I'm making sure it doesn't bend more than anything else, more than getting in your way, more than trying to bar you. My arm doesn't want to bend. So I can be here and something bumps in, yeah, like that, something bumps into it and it's not going anywhere. Then I can make everything else make sense. I can get my chum cue to get my body to back up my arm, and then suddenly Chitsao is totally different, because Chitsao is the same thing. What's the difference between this and this? It's just that same movement going through the Goldilocks zone.
Yeah. Even
when we talk about the idea, Silon Tao, the little idea is a conflagration of all of these weird little concepts. So we can't name it because, you know, Bong Sao is the wing arm. So Bong Sao is every time we move our arm, it's moving like a wing. So there's one concept. So Lan Sao is my wing isn't being bent by outside forces. So I'm using Bong Sao and Lan Sao when I'm doing this. And then Fuk Sao is the controlling arm. So I use this moving wing to be on here and not bend. And so now I've got Gan Sao, Bong Sao, Fuk Sao all happening at the same time. And if I could think of other things, maybe they're in there as well. So the little idea is actually a combination of all of the concepts. As many concepts as we can fit in there. You know, it's a big box, let's put more in. Once they're in there, they just work. We don't have to think about them. For you guys, anytime we're doing these resistance exercises, it's not this. Achieving Chit Sao is pointless. We want to find out what's behind the curtain. How is Chit Sao working? Why is Chit Sao working? And this is why people fail at Wing Chun, because they haven't bothered to put all of the concepts into one box, and they haven't mixed together and become this body here. There's no Chum Kyu here. There's my body. There's no Bill G issuing from the shoulder. There's my Bill G. So now my Chum Kyu and my Bill G combined become this.
It's all in there.
I don't think it's that hard to do. The hard thing is actually being in these different places mentally when we're training. And we can do that. So you touch me, so even if you just push me here, I say, okay, first get Crazy Horse. Okay, there's Crazy Horse. So I'm okay now, I'm happy, I'm in Crazy Horse. Now, Chum Kyu, my body supports my arm. So boom, there's my headlight moving towards my arm. It's almost as if I've got another hand here that's pushing this arm. And there's all sorts of things happening. My legs are involved, everything's happening. And then there's Bill G, where I've got the shoulder extension. And then there's the unbreakable arm. Boom.
Yeah. They're separate, but then they all combine.
And that's the hard, that's what we should be doing in training every time, trying to link, not trying to learn things. We already know them, especially you and the other guys. We're trying to link all these things together. So start off, where's your Crazy Horse? How'd you connect your Chum Kyu? How'd you connect your Bill G? Then do Lan Sao. Yeah. These two movements are where we first work on the idea of Lan Sao. So these are not Lan Sao. These are the reflection of Lan Sao, if you wish, or the shadow of Lan Sao. The concept is behind it. What's making that tick? What's behind the curtain? Not just the forearm, though.
No.
It's the whole arm.
Everything is moving here.
So you're pushing my arm sideways. How's that not going backwards? So it's still not bending. Look, still not bending.
No.
Push it. It's okay. Just push it.
See, that's insane. That's a very compromised position.
And now I can step at you.
Yeah.
Obviously, if I did that, or someone's coming at me, they're not hitting me.
No.
So now we get to the next components of how doesn't this arm bend? Especially when we're straight up here. So don't let it bend. That's really effective, but I can feel you. That's about to explode.
There, yeah.
You're pushing against here. I'm here. So why have I got pressure here? Because I'm pushing down here. You're pushing this way. So I stopped that for a start. Boom. So I've stopped pushing, and now I open the hinge with the idea that it's going to make you push this into me. So there's the unbending arm.
The drawbridge.
Absolutely. So now I can add my weight to it.
Yeah.
So now there's 180 kilos or whatever on my elbow that is just passing right through it.
Oh, I can see it now.
So this is so important. Boom.
I see, it's really funny. They
But careful. It's gonna. Well, we want that pressure to go up. So you're pushing into me with the intention of making that elbow
that into here, which is
push
making
that
me more
into you.
solid. Which is there.
And now you can use Chum Kyu by getting your body to support your arm, because now my body's going to move here.
Yeah. Fuck, that's insane. Oh, just the idea of that. Even just that drawbridge.
Fuck, look.
Isn't that wild? Because you always tend to have this thing where you, how do you describe this? As soon as you...
Because this is like an action in a form, the form bullies us a bit and makes us think it has to be done there. So you got hold of my arms and I think somehow I've got to come down here.
Yeah.
But I haven't, because I can drawbridge here.
Yeah. See,
That's why I need to be in my elbow. I need to really just be here, understand I'm trying to open this hinge. And there's a lot of different ways. This can come down, this can come up. It can happen as it's rotating. I need to be able to have my awareness just in the hinge.
Yeah.
And if that's coming forward, your arm can't go backwards. And it only needs a millimeter.
And then if it's
in training, I'm really just trying to manifest and maintain this state while shit's going on, even though it's not super aggressive.
Yeah.
But it's about me understanding how to put this on and keep it on. So then I get in trouble. It's going to be a whole magnitude difference, but it's still about me putting this on and keeping this on.
it's